Hey guys, today we're taking a look at this Shield Liger that was released for the 10th anniversary of the Chaotic Century anime in 2009. Basically, it comes in different colors than the original version and in a unique box, plus it includes some character figures and a DVD. So I'm going to show you guys all that, and since I imagine a lot of you can't get your hands on a Tomy Shield Liger anymore, I'll also show you how it goes together and what it looks like in action. Let's check it out.
Robo Shop.
Alright, so the box, as you can see, is very much sort of in the style that the NJR boxes were in, because, you know, that was the release that coincided with the Chaotic Century anime, obviously. We do have a drawing of Van here. You can already see on the photo here some of the differences to the kit. You know, the gold claws and this painted blue piece here. We have this logo here that says, you know, 10th animation, 10th anniversary, that lets you know what this is. And on the side here, we have this indicating that there's a DVD in this box. Other than that, definitely very much a NJR style box. Here we have pictures of the figures of Zeke and Fiona and Van. And I will say, you know, you have a comparison here of the original Shield Liger, which I don't have, to this version. And all of the pictures showing the gimmicks and whatnot are actually of the new version. Same here, you know, this close-up here. So they didn't skimp. Completely new pictures for everything. So let's take a look what's in here. If I can get this done without ruining the box. Here we have, of course, the gearbox, which let me see if I can just pull that out like that. Let's take a look at that. This is just, you know, if you've built Zoids from the classic era, or any of the classic eras, there seem to be two now. You know what this looks like with this rotating thing here on the back that, if I remember correctly, drives the movement of the head and the mouth. Power switch, 4 cranks to drive the legs, and the battery compartment with the screw. Let's take a look at the paperwork and the extra stuff first. Right, let's open this. Come on. We have the DVD. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you guys what's on this. It's sealed, by the way. Let's see, it probably just contains the disc. Okay. That's what the DVD looks like. It's pretty cool. Like, it just has like this dark blue print on it, and the characters are actually just the reflective surface of the DVD. It's pretty neat. Nothing else in here. Yeah, we'll see if the video will contain any of the content of this DVD. Probably not. I've tried in the past to rip things from DVDs that came with latter-day releases of NJR Zoids, and I've never been able to make it work. Also in here we have the sticker sheet, which looks like it's the same one that the original Shield Liger came with. Rubber caps. This is a very light gray. It's probably intentional. I mean, it's probably intentional. It probably has something to do with it being anime colors. Okay, here we have the canopy. Let's get a look at this. I mean, this is, after all, this is one of the things that are special about this release. It has, first of all, a... oh, nice. I just realized this is a gold-plated... It's a gold-plated pilot, like from an 80s release. The NJRs didn't come with these. And here we have the canopy piece, where the front is pre-painted. This is, of course, on all the previous versions, this is just a completely clear part, including the front here, which always looked a bit silly. Instructions for the new parts, how you put together the Zeke figure that this comes with, and all the gold parts. And also here we have the instruction booklet, which now this is just the standard NJR instructions. You can see, if you look closely, you can see this is the clear part here. So this is the same instruction booklet that the NJR came with. Parts lists, building instructions. You can see here, you know, if you're not familiar, if you got into Zoids with Zoids Wild, one of the things I really like here is the on the older kits, the parts are numbered consecutively. See, A1, A2, B3, A4, A6. The instructions are all selected. It's very simple stuff, just whatever the new parts are blue. Let's get to, see here, they didn't change the instructions. It doesn't tell you anything about the gold parts that are included. Yeah, and then, you know, here you have an explanation of the gimmicks. It has this rotating cannon on the back, the missile launchers on the side, and this folds out for the magic shield contraption that beats everything except the Genosaur, right? Yeah, that's the instructions. Let's take a look at the parts. Okay, so here we have the C sprue with the original silver versions of these parts. This is the new one. Okay, yeah, it's gold, but it's not a particularly good looking gold, if I'm honest. It's just Tomy's standards, you know, standard gold from the olden days, meaning it's not that great looking. Here's some blue parts. Okay, this is sort of a purplish blue. Interesting. Okay, and then we have a second parts bag. Containing a piece of cotton for no reason. Okay, this is the blue armor for the head, which is the standard blue that I would have expected. And this is weird. Okay, this is let's take a look at that in a second when I've got some more space here. And then we have all the other blue parts are in this sort of purplish, darker blue that other sprue is in. And here we have what I guess they considered to be the inner frame. I'm going to have to do a comparison of this with the original European Shield Tiger, because I'm pretty sure that one's identical to the Japanese version. Anyway, here we have 3 parts to make a Zeke. We have a figure of a Van standing and sitting, Fiona standing and sitting, yeah, these are pretty nice, sharply molded. I will show you a comparison to these with the ones that came with the NJR Blade Liger. This is, from what I remember, the Zeke is sort of a rubbery plastic, but it did have pre-painted detail. It's nice that this is solid, like polystyrene, if you want to paint it, but no, I'm going to have to do a comparison. I don't remember which one looks better. Anyway, what's going to happen now is I am going to build all this stuff, get the parts off the sprues, trim them, and then we're going to try to do another montage of the build so that we can cut this down to maybe 4 or 5 minutes. I don't want to show you guys the whole thing. It just takes forever and it's not very interesting. So I'll be back with that montage in a second. Okay, let's take a look at these figures first. These are actually just the same sprue that came with the Blade Liger. The pre-painted Zeke I was talking about earlier is the one that came with the Yamato Shield Liger, which, you know, maybe that's a video for another day. Anyway, these look pretty neat. Just ignore the fact that I completely mangled Fiona's leg there. The injection gauge is really in the worst possible place. They're also too small for the cockpit and just sort of rattle around, which is why you'll see the Zoid with the old school pilot in the cockpit in the motion footage. Segway! Yeah, here it is in action. Nothing fancy, but it's worth noting that the original Ligers were the only four-legged Zoids with a mechanism that actually controls the movement of the feet, as opposed to the feet just being loosely attached and flopping around. It really does look pretty smooth in motion. And here's a comparison to the European release Shield Liger, which is a completely useless photo, but this is the only other version I have. I'm pretty sure though that the NJR just has grey parts for the teeth and claws, darker caps, and the armor might be a more saturated blue. So the differences here would be the color of the legs, the gold parts, and of course the pre-painted section of the canopy. The inside of the cockpit is actually unchanged, so unfortunately you can't have Fiona and Van both in there like in the Blade Liger. So, I guess if you're into Zoids because you grew up on Chaotic Century and you're looking for a Shield Liger, this is the one you want. To be perfectly honest, aside from the fact that it would be an easy fix with paint, I really do think the pre-painted canopy piece is a massive improvement. Other than that, though, I have to say that this Anime 10th edition might have been the cheapest cash grab in the history of Zoids. It consisted of this Shield Liger and the Shoebolt's Iron Kong, and I mean, they're both nice enough, but they're really just recolors, and very little thought or effort seems to have gone into them. The Shoebolt's Kong right here is supposed to have a different weapon on the back, but it just comes with the same missile launcher as all the Iron Kongs, plus the Gatling gun. So, like with the character figures that came with the Liger, it's all just repackaged stuff that had already been out. The DVD is also nothing you haven't already seen. It's basically all footage from Chaotic Century with a Japanese voiceover, apparently summarizing some of the Shield Liger's major combat encounters and culminating with its destruction that resulted in the Blade Liger. Sorry I can't show you that, by the way, but as I expected, I couldn't rip it or take screenshots. So, in conclusion, I guess what I'm saying is if you already have a Shield Liger or you can get your hands on a different version at a better price, I don't know if I'd go out of my way for this version because really all you're getting is that pre-painted canopy piece in slightly different colors. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed taking another trip down memory lane with me. I'm thinking I might do reviews of older models a bit more often in the future, although of course I don't exactly have piles and piles of unbuilt ones lying around anymore either. We'll see. I just feel like there's not enough content about these old motorized Zoids out there, and I'm in a position to do something about it, you know? Oh, and if that sounds like something you'd like to see, or if you like mecha model kits with lots of weathering, or if you just generally consider yourself to be, you know, an individual of refined tastes, I really think you should let the YouTube algorithm know by giving this video a thumbs up, and you should subscribe to my channel because I will absolutely have more content that is relevant to your interests. In the meantime, thanks for watching everyone, wash your hands and wear a mask, and also, no lives matter unless Black Lives Matter. I'll see you in the next one.